Welcome to the Peacemakers Family Center, which has become the epicenter for community involvement here in South Rocky Mount. This has been the place of residency for me this summer as I completed my community internship, but as I served as the site coordinator for the CDF Freedom Schools program. Now come take a look. And this is the most amazing person here at the Peacemakers Community Center. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself.
Yes, my name is Elizabeth Braswell, and I am the administrative assistant here at Peacemakers. And I think this is a wonderful place. I enjoy the atmosphere here, and I try to present the atmosphere here.
Yes, she keeps this place running smoothly. So, welcome to our case management office, where we have experienced volunteers who have a background in human services, psychology, a medical background, or sociology who come in and assist some up to 25 clients a week. We give them assistance with their rent, their utilities. We also offer assistance with their health needs, and also secure like employment. And we also have offer help with their academic advancements here at the center, which we'll show you in just a second. It's our storage room, and where we file some of our clients' confidential information. Here is our computer lab, where we open this place up to our community 6 days a week, but it's also where we house our Nash Community College computer literacy program 4 days a week. Sanctuary, also known as our multi-purpose room. Over the summer, we use this space for our morning rallies, also known as Harambe. In the mornings, we also do our Freedom Schools program. We use this as cafeteria space. Throughout the year, this is where we house our Nash Community College workshops, and on Sundays they have church service here as well. So again, this is our multi-purpose room. As you can see, a lot happens here. This is why we spend the majority of our time. Now I'm going to walk you through a few of our classrooms. These classroom spaces are used for Freedom Schools. They're also used for after-school tutorial and for small group pullouts. Let me take you. And as you can see, our Freedom School scholars are engaging in our integrated reading curriculum for the Freedom Schools program. All right. Here is where the magic happens. Food is prepared for our Freedom Schools students and staff in this space here, but also the food is prepared for our parent meetings on Monday nights as well. So again, the magic happens here. I am not a cook, but this is the special lady who does most of the hard work.
What do y'all do?
Yes.
I'm Marilyn Wester, and I am the cook for the Freedom School, and I love it. I love it. And this young man here is such a good fellow, and he does a good job, and he keeps me in line, and that's all I have to say.
Because some of our Freedom Schools is still in session, but here's our cafeteria space. Here's where we hold lunches for smaller events. We hold some of our GED classes, our personal finances classes, our customer service classes, our addiction recovery classes, and on Sundays we also have a free lunch program for our community dwellers. This is Kim. She's our literacy specialist for the summer. Say hey, Kim. All right, welcome to our community thrift store here at the Peacemakers Community Center. The purpose of this thrift store is not to generate income, but to make sure that we're able to resource our families inexpensively, but also to provide them the dignity of being able to provide or to buy their own goods. But it's also become a place of employment for several of our community dwellers. Again, trying to place great economic opportunities in the South Rocky Mount locality. This is Ms. Wanda. She is one of the employees of the thrift store. I had to pretty much coerce her to do this video for me, but she's going to say a few words.
I enjoy working at the thrift shop. It's a challenge because I never worked in a place with a lot of people and a lot of loving and caring people and people that care. And I plan on being here until whenever. Here's some of the.
This is all of Ms. Wanda's work. Here is the the back of the Peacemakers Community Center. This space we store a lot of resources for our thrift store, unpacked resources for our thrift store, but also here's where we store a lot of our food as well for our food distributions. And most of our frozen foods are kept in this freezer here, where we keep them frozen until we're able to distribute them to the community. Lastly, this space here, you have to be a complete visionary to see this, but this is going to serve as a entrepreneur incubator for released inmates. So they'll have a place where they'll be able to secure employment, develop their own businesses, and then hire other community dwellers as well. So once more, we're just trying to create economic opportunity for the citizens of the South Rocky Mountain community. It's our food pantry. We distribute food to our case management clients on the third Saturday of each month. Most of our food comes from the food bank in Raleigh. A lot of it comes from the food line in Spring Hope, and also from Harris Teeter and Rocky Mount. We also deliver these food items to 34 shut-in houses, so individuals who are unable to make it out here during our food distribution. So again, as you can see, we're actually running low, but we're gonna make another stop by those 3 places soon. So our food distribution, our pantry. So this has been my employer. This is the guy who makes this all possible. He is the executive director of the Peacemakers Family Center here in Rocky Mountain on Davis Street. And again, he's been my employee. He's been a great guy. I've been honored. It's been an honor working for him. Jesse Lewis. This is our food coordinator for the Freedom Schools program. She works for Freedom Schools. She works for AmeriCorps. She's an AmeriCorps employee, and she's also employed by USDA. She regulates the food and those operations throughout our day. And this is Rachel. My working space. This is my desk. As you can see, it's pretty messy, but that speaks loudly to the amount of work that I've been inundated in this summer. Again, this has been my workspace for the summer. Greetings, Dr. Williams. As you know, I've had the opportunity to complete my community internship at the Peacemaker Center in South Rocky Mount. I definitely have to say that this has been one of the most meaningful experiences that I've ever had, and it has now transformed my work, and it has changed my lenses and it's kind of like reframed my own my mental models. So I just kind of want to capture a few of the reflections that I've recorded throughout the summer that I thought had been like the most meaningful, and I think that could be the most useful as I enter school engagement as a principal intern. So first, I want to start with the we theory, that it's important that we consider the all of us, that we move to more like this altruistic behavior. And I thought that that it was possible to carry a lot of this work by myself, but it's impossible to do it alone. I think that we have to erase this theory of atomization, right? And we have to reconnect ourselves. Then we have to be willing, if we want to see true change, then we have to be willing to give all of ourselves to this work. And I also learned that individually, I can make a difference, but I think the real change happens when we're pulled together in the same efforts. Next, I was also learning that injustice prevails where hopelessness exists. So we have to dedicate ourselves to replacing hope where despair lives. So at in my community internship, we with the case management, with the food distribution, we had the opportunity to create the thrift store. So things where we can create hope, in this place of Rocky Mount that has been filled with so much despair. And then also I've learned that the problem is multifaceted. I thought there was a single problem, right? That the problem like exists in education, but now I've learned that the problem is multifaceted, and it really takes, again, each and every last one of us kind of dedicated to this work and dedicated to like attacking every facet of this work, whether that's like education, whether that's like hunger, whether it's like increased like poverty over time, generational poverty. But again, it's a complex issue that it takes like all of us to actually like to dedicate ourselves if we want to eradicate this work, eradicate this issue. I also learned that like I've been tired. I've been giving my all to this work. So, but it's important that I get back up, right? Like fighting for justice, fighting against social injustices. It leaves us like bruised, right? It leaves us feeling tired, and it's gruesome, it's cumbersome, but we have to remember that it's important that I continue to get back up. And then also learned like this takes it takes time, right? Like true change isn't microwavable. Like it's that theory where like these icebergs, they don't melt overnight. You have to continue to chip at them, and over time you'd see like these icebergs that'll finally disappear. But if you're in this to see like immediate change, that is nearly impossible. But I've learned that like I have to remain humble, especially when working with individuals in the community, but also working with individuals who live in like deep despair and like deep poverty. I have to meet people where they are. So sometimes as simple as like changing language, like using language of that community, right, so that they're able to understand, so that they're able to allow me into their heart, so that I may assist and help them in any way possible. And then another that I want to highlight is that like I'm willing to be the. I know that like though I may not see true change immediately, although while I'm here, I've been here in this community. May I that one person that I've given my all to, though I may not have seen like what type of impact that has on like one individual, I know that I was able to be like the turnaround person for someone, right? And that could be multiplied over time as well. Another thing that I thought was like very, very important to me was that proximity is important, right? You cannot change the lives of people if we do not get proximate. We have to bound ourselves up with the individuals in that community to understand their narratives. We have to be like very close. We have to be very intimate with the issue. Next, we have to choose to do uncomfortable things, right? Like I do what I do now. I think, again, I know my why, right? I had the opportunity to kind of like really, really interrogate like why am I doing this work, and I think the real why is that I do what I do because I am broken too, and there's power in my brokenness, right? Like it allows like other things to fill in those spaces. It allows me to help. It allows me to inspire people with my own narrative. And then I think then I've also learned that the opposite of poverty is not money. I always thought of like poverty as simply being it's being like an economic term, or having like economic like limitations. But I've learned that like poverty, there are different types of poverty. It wears different masks. There can be a poverty in love. There can be like this poverty in intellectualism. But the poverty is not just focused on money. So I think that's another thing that it has forced me to do, is like change that language. Like, what is poverty, and how do you describe it? And I think that's it. But again, I've had a multitude of just new experiences here. I've learned like my purpose. I've had the opportunity to explore this community, try and diagnose and try my best to prescribe what that looks like, or prescribe like a solution to the problems here. But I can't provide that solution unless others are willing to come to the table from the community to help solve their own issues. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I look forward to seeing you soon.